Thank you for watching. Comment any ideas you would like to see in future videos. I'll do my best. Be sure to vote for your favorite merch design. I hope the music was to your liking. Please support the channel so I can afford to branch into other art content and maybe gaming.
Dragon Ball, the major differences between Potara and Metamoran fusion. In Dragon Ball Z, the heroes use both Potara and Metamoran fusion to create powerful warriors like Vegito and Gotenks in order to defeat their enemies. Fusion allows weaker fighters to combine their powers and dramatically increase their strength to take on more formidable opponents in the series. While Potara fusion is permanent for Supreme Kais, Metamoran fusion has a time limit and cooldown period, requiring strategic planning in battles. In the Dragon Ball franchise, there have been several antagonists that have required the Dragon fighters to dig deep and look for creative ways to beat their foes. Fusion is a concept that has been presented in various ways throughout the series, but it was in Dragon Ball Z that the Z fighters made use of the mechanic in specifically two different ways, Potara and Metamoran fusion. What are the big differences between the two, and how has their use changed from Z to GT to Super? Firstly, what's fusion? One HFIL of an ex machina. Put simply, fusion in Dragon Ball refers to any technique that results in the melding of two fighters into a single, stronger combatant. The results of a fusion will depend on various factors, like each individual's strength, and the type of fusion used, of which there are several. For instance, Piccolo first showed this ability on Namek when he absorbed Nail, dramatically increasing his power. However, unlike the two types of fusion that will be explored shortly, Piccolo did not necessarily become a whole new fighter, but an improved version of himself. Piccolo's fusion also differs because he is not actually his whole self until reuniting with Kami during the Buu saga. In any case, fusion enables those who are too weak to defeat an opponent as individuals or as a team, to dramatically drive up the power they have at their disposal. Both the Potara and Metamoran fusion types are seen during the Buu saga. However, Goku and Vegeta's first use of the latter is in the 1995 film, Dragon Ball Z, Fusion Reborn. Goku learns this technique from the Metamorans in Otherworld. Soon after Goku's short bout against Majin Buu and his first use of the Super Saiyan 3 transformation, he is forced to return to Otherworld, but before doing so, he and Piccolo agree to teach the Kid Saiyans the Metamoran fusion dance so that they can defeat Buu. However, the saga had plenty of twists and turns caused by an unforeseen change to the enemy. At some point, Hercule, Mr. Satan, managed to befriend Buu, causing the demon to develop a bond with not only the world champion, but his dog, B. However, they sustain fatal gunshot wounds after being attacked by some minor criminals. After healing them miraculously, Buu loses himself to anger but expels all the evil within his body to maintain control of himself. The result was the manifestation of his malice, a grayish-brownish thin Buu with ominous eyes. After a short bout, evil Buu absorbs his pudgy counterpart. A transformation takes place which results in the birth of the skinny pink version of the demon known as Super Buu. The fusion dance. The birth of Gotenks. Super Buu held the Earth hostage as he hounded the Dragon fighters for a worthy opponent. Through Piccolo's quick thinking, they were able to buy 30 minutes to train in the hyperbolic time chamber, where Piccolo taught Goten and Trunks the Metamoran fusion dance. The technique is rather difficult to pull off because not only do both participants have to match each other's movements, it also won't work if they aren't of a similar power level. Eventually, a warrior named Gotenks is born. However, his temperament becomes his biggest problem as Gotenks combines the worst traits of the young Saiyan hybrids. Overwhelming arrogance and a complete lack of respect for anyone meant that Gotenks spent time toying with his opponent. Unfortunately, despite having access to the Super Saiyan 3 transformation like Goku, Gotenks, and Piccolo were some of the first to be absorbed by Buu, this meant that a new strategy was needed to defeat Buu. The biggest problem with this type of fusion is that it has a 30-minute time limit, and after a successful fusion wears off, there is an hour-long cooldown. This cooldown period is the reason why Super Buu had to be stalled for a while after arriving on Kami's lookout. An interesting aspect of this type of fusion is that the clothing worn by the resulting fighter is not a combination of both outfits, but the Metamoran traditional attire, the accessories of hope. Potara fusion, explained. During the Buu saga, Gohan is sent to Supreme Kai's world to train in the use of the Z-sword, which was meant to be a surefire way to defeat Majin Buu. However, the sword broken out of it came the old Kai, who then unlocked Gohan's latent potential, leading to what fans and games in the Budokai Tenkaichi series dubbed Mystic Gohan, but he also sacrificed himself to bring Goku back to life. After old Kai's death, he gave Goku the Potara, explaining that he is a product of Potara himself, and testing them by giving the earrings to Kibito and Supreme Kai, resulting in Kibito Kai. I am neither Goku, nor Vegeta. I am the one who will destroy you. Vegito. After the absorption of Gotenks and Piccolo, Gohan was next to fight Buu and did a great job until he was absorbed. Goku initially planned on fusing with Gohan using the Potara earrings, which combine the individuals wearing either side into a powerful fighter. However, the initial drawback of this method was that the individuals involved would be permanently fused into a single combatant. Gohan missed the vital catch that would have made him fuse with his father, and was absorbed by the demon after Gotenks' fusion wore off inside of him. Through some strings pulled by King Yema, Vegeta was able to leave Otherworld/Hell and arrive just as Goku made the decision to fuse with Hercule, hoping that his martial arts skills would give him some kind of boost. The resulting fighter is a Caucasian warrior called Vegito. The drawbacks of the two fusion types. Retkins and dynamics. Goku and Vegeta were lucky as the fusion wore off after Vegito was turned into a jawbreaker and eaten, and the two fought Buu from the inside to free their absorbed friends. While old Kai did mention that Potara fusions are permanent, he hadn't realized that the caveat only applies to Supreme Kais. This was revealed during Zamasu's rampage in Dragon Ball Super, when Vegito was once again brought out to defeat a universe-level threat, but the fusion wore off after an hour. This fusion time limit is further decreased if the resultant being is immensely powerful, as seen with Vegito Blue. The Potara earrings make another appearance during the Tournament of Power when the Universe 6 Saiyans, Caulifla, and Kale make use of them to become Kefla. The issue of Potara being permanent solely in the context of a Supreme Kai being one of the fuses was only introduced in Dragon Ball Super, while being absorbed by Buu was thought to be the reason for Vegeto's dissolution. The Saiyan fusions gain access to the various transformations of the fuses as seen with Vegito Blue and Gogeta Blue introduced in the Broly movie. Like with the Potara, immensely powerful fighters don't last very long, and while the Potara fusion is meant to produce more powerful results without regard for the ingredients, ultimately, Vegito and Gogeta have comparable levels of power.
Comment any ideas you would like to see in future videos. I'll do my best. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thank you for watching. Comment any ideas you would like to see in future videos. I'll do my best. Be sure to vote for your favorite merch design. I hope the music was to your liking. Please support the channel so I can afford to branch into other art content and maybe gaming.
Hello. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future content, comment and let me know. I know many are not comfortable with AI art, but I am saving to gather supplies to delve into other art styles. It will take time, but I am hoping to get into resin, woodworking, and metalworking. All I ask, please enjoy my videos.